gets the side, goes into the...
Here's the payoff pitch. It's a hit! There it goes! It's out of here!
Jeff McGraw gets the side, goes into the motion. Here's the two-strike pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground towards first. Milner has the ball. Looks to McGraw. It's over. The New York Mets have won the pennant. The New York Mets have won the pennant.
Fastball is a high drive into deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone.
Here's a pitch on the way, a swing and a belt, left field, way back, Blue Jays win it! The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions.
The Giants throw, swing and a miss, and that's it! The Giants, for the first time in 52 years, the Giants are world champions as they come pouring out of the dugout.
The 1-2. Breaking ball toward left field. Hugging the line. This one's got a chance to go. Score! Big fly for Albert Pujols. Number 600.
1-2. Chop up the middle. Rojas to first. There it is. There it is. It's the Marlins win. And for the first time in 17 years, the Marlins are going to the postseason.
What is going on, everybody? And welcome to a Hum Baby Baseball live stream doing an update on the 2023 Major League Baseball playoffs. And I continue to be the worst predictor in the history of the game. I had the Dodgers advancing, not even close. The Arizona Diamondbacks absolutely who humiliated the Dodgers, sweeping them out of the 2023 season, sending them home and doing it with relative ease. The Dodgers rotation was awful, historically bad, and couldn't get through more than an inning or two on all 3 games. Move over to the other series, the Braves. They were so good in the regular season, despite the Phillies having reached the World Series last year. I decided to go with the Braves. Wrong. The Phillies did it and take out Atlanta. They actually attacked Spencer Strider, hit multiple home runs off him. Nick Castellanos had a good series, and the Philadelphia Phillies are advancing, and they will be taking on the D-backs. But we're getting to the details of those series. Over the American League, the Houston Astros defeat, and will move on to take on. It's going to be an all-Texas World Series, but the Astros took care of business against the Minnesota Twins and their former teammate Carlos Correa. So they're going to move on. And that was an exciting game and series. But then the last one, like I said, the Rangers also advancing, having taken out the Baltimore Orioles 7-1 on Tuesday night in Game 3. They swept the Orioles, who were not, by the way, swept all season long. The Orioles had not been swept all season long, but they just got swept by the Rangers. This is really exciting. By the way, I kind of got off track of my predictions there. I did predict the Rangers to win. That's the only thing I've gotten right so far, I think. Because the other series, I'm trying to remember now. I think I definitely had the Rangers beating the Astros. I definitely had the Rangers beating Oh, sorry, not the Astros, but I'm tripping, beating the Twins. I mean, beating the Orioles. Definitely had the Rangers beating the Orioles. Astros, I can't remember, but anyway, it's been terrible. That's the bottom line. What's going on, Brian Chua, 25 months. Yeah, I didn't expect LA to get that far, but so be it. Who cares what people say about this formation? The owners and players agreed to this. Yeah, hey, I mean, they did pretty well in the regular season, obviously, but things fell apart there in the freaking playoffs. And that's not something new. The Dodgers have had that problem. And I don't know what needs to change there, what they're going to do about Dave Roberts. I don't know. I don't really blame this on him, but the front office, something's got to give right there in LA. I mean, someone's got to give in San Francisco for sure. We can't even make the playoffs. Playoffs? Are you kidding me? We just want to win a game. But as far as the Dodgers, yeah, that's not the standard. With the amount of money they have, the amount of money they spend, the type of rosters they put together, the fact that they've only won one 60-game season, haven't really had a proper parade, that is a big problem in Los Angeles, and they definitely have to make some freaking changes. But looking back, I actually had the Twins winning. against the Astros. I thought I might have. Yeah, so I had the Twins advancing. I got that wrong too. So I pretty much got every pick wrong so far this entire postseason except one. So if I pick your team, consider that a bad thing. Don't get mad at me if I don't pick your team because I'm helping you out. If I don't pick your team, I'm helping you out. But right now we are down to 4 teams left. Who would have ever guessed at the beginning of this year if I made these predictions at my preseason predictions? People would have called me a complete idiot. If I would have had the Diamondbacks advancing all the way to the NLCS to take on the Phillies, who just take out the Braves for the 2nd consecutive season, and then I would have had, okay, Astros maybe, but against the Rangers, yeah, people would have called me a complete idiot. But the Rangers have been making improvements, and obviously with Bruce Bochy behind the as manager, you know that the Rangers are going to be decent, and they have been more than that this year. So what's up, Jason Corona, Robin Brassel? Los Dodgers are gone. So that is the situation right here. So again, just to recap, the Phillies did take out the Atlanta Braves. It's a very impressive series. They had the lead almost the entire freaking series. The Phillies looked like they had no issues against the Braves pitching. I mean, imagine what they can do against the Diamondbacks pitching, which the Diamondbacks have good pitching, obviously, but not like the Braves. So really impressive performance by the Phillies, but you can't count out the Diamondbacks, who just made easy work of the Dodgers. So this is a really interesting matchup to start out here when we have the Philadelphia Phillies. And let's see if we can get it up here. Philadelphia Phillies. And right now we're TBD still, but the Phillies are going to be taking on the Diamondbacks. Game 1 will be at Citizens Bank Park on October 16th. So we don't have they're showing us basically no information here on MLB Network, but we already pretty much know what these teams bring to the table. And right now it's just 2 very, very hot teams that made easy work of the 2 favorites with the Braves and the Dodgers. And the Phillies and Diamondbacks, that is a series that I'm excited about. A National League Championship series, and potentially the Diamondbacks could win this thing and advance to the World Series representing the NL West. I'm for the Phillies now that my Dodgers are out. What's up, Robin? Dodgers out. What's the incentive to win a division? I guess you get that bye, but apparently it doesn't really matter when you get your ass whooped by some of these other teams anyway. Both Dodgers and Braves fans have complained about the playoff structure, having to wait for wild card games. They have cooled off. Oh, yeah, because you cool off waiting for it. Yeah, that's it. They weren't complaining when they got the bye. They weren't complaining when they got the bye, but they're complaining now that they lost. They're always going to complain about something because you lost. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like having buys and all this stuff. I don't like having a million teams make the playoffs, but I don't make the rules. It's what it is. And if you're that good, a few days off shouldn't destroy your chances. I mean, you cooled off. How you cool off in 3-4 days? I mean, come on. Let's freaking go. Sounds like an excuse to me, but I'm not a fan of the playoff structure, so I wouldn't mind changing it back to the way it was, but I don't think that's happening. Trey Turner was a good Dodger, obviously former national, and now with the Phillies doing big things for Philadelphia. Why is there suddenly waiting going on for teams? Yeah, because they have a bye. So if you win the division, you have to wait for them to finish the wild card series. So you don't even play because you get a bye, but it's basically you get free advancement to the division series. But then if you lose the division series, what does it really matter? Of course. And we've seen most of those teams. If we look at the standings this season, Orioles, 101 wins, never got swept. They're out. Twins, out. Astros are still in it. And then in the National League, Braves are out. Brewers are out. And Dodgers are out. Literally one division winner is still in it. The other 3 teams, the Diamondbacks are a wild card. The Phillies are a wild card. and the Texas Rangers are a wild card, having lost that last game of the season, and they lost their chance to win the division. Well, actually tied for the division win, but because the Astros won the tiebreaker, they advanced as division winners. But right now, that you talk about a matchup right there. Speaking of that, that's a divisional, the top two teams taking on each other. That's going to be crazy. So we have Phillies, Diamondbacks going at it. It's going to start in Philadelphia. Very, very difficult to predict because you didn't even think you would see this matchup. Not too many people even predicted this matchup. But right now, it looks like the Phillies are favorites, not surprising, as National League champions, kind of a bigger organization. I mean, a more prestige organization and a team that was better predicted coming into the season. The Diamondbacks were not heavily predicted. A lot of people were picking the Padres to win the division and the Dodgers coming up short. And if anything, the Giants were supposed to do better than the Diamondbacks. Didn't happen at all that way. So the Diamondbacks, you can't count them out at all. You know, Ketel Marte and company, and that entire team have shown what they can do this year. It's been really impressive. Obviously, we've seen it. They swept the Giants basically out of contention in that 2-game series about a month back here. And they got that bullpen, a very strong bullpen. And then they got a mix of veterans like Evan Longoria, who's actually swinging a pretty good bat. And then Tommy Pham. And then, of course, amazing youngsters like Corbin Carroll, amazing youngsters like Alec Thomas. Just a team, a very exciting team, a team I should have picked to beat the Brewers, but I thought the Brewers were the exciting team. It turned out to be wrong. Of course, young guys like Brandon Pfaadt, and then you have your Zach Gallens and Merrill Kellys and all that. So it's just a very well-rounded team. I expect Baltimore to go to the World Series. Guess not. 300-win teams are all gone and in the DS. They're out. They're out. Dodgers and Braves haven't had a pressure series in almost a month. That played into their exit as much as the 5-day bye. If you really wanted me to boil down to one thing with the Dodgers, even though the offense did not show up, Mookie Betts, did he get a hit in the playoffs? Mookie Betts was very, very bad in that playoff series. And I don't think Freddie Freeman did a whole lot either, to my recollection. But if you have to point to one thing, and I don't like, you can't really use injuries as an excuse, but you can, because when someone gets hurt, you could try to say next man up mentality, but if the next man up is not even half as good, I mean, you got a problem. So think about this. And some of y'all know about the Dodgers rotation, but Dustin May, why we haven't seen him lately? Because he's hurt. Walker Buehler, haven't seen him lately. He's been out all season long. Walker Buehler's out, one of their best names. Julio Urias, out. Julio Urias is out because of a domestic violence charge. So he's out right now on administrative leave. That's 3 pretty big names right there. Did I mention Tony Gonsolin? I forgot now. Now I lost track. Tony Gonsolin, that's a 4th name. He's out because of an injury. Trevor Bauer was released because of his situation. Had to go play in Japan. He would have still been here. That's 5 names. That's a bomb rotation. All out for one reason or another. Either released, hurt, domestic violence, they're all out. So Buehler, that's what I'm saying. Buehler's out. He's done. He's hurt. Yeah, so everybody's out. So it is, I mean, it is, you still, and somehow they still have names. Clayton Kershaw, but then they had to go with a youngster with Bobby Miller. And then they had to go with a somewhat washed up Lance Lynn. Sheehan came in relief. They never threw out Pepio, who I think would have been the obvious choice right there for game 3. You don't throw out Lance Lynn, who's getting lit up lately, who's a little bit on the washed up side of things. You go with your hot guy. I mean, I know, I understand you're kind of scared because you just saw what happened to Bobby Miller in game 2. But in my opinion, you go with Pepio right there. But it is what it is. I mean, in hindsight, it's easy to say that. In hindsight, it's easy to say that. Maybe Pepio goes out there, gets lit up. We're like, you go with the veteran. You go with the veteran Lance Lynn right there. But still, I thought like Lance Lynn was just, nobody felt good about that, who was rooting for the Dodgers. But yeah, Dodgers out, Phillies, Diamondbacks, and not a whole lot of information on who to expect. We can just kind of use our try to just kind of figure out who might be pitching. But we know the offense for sure. And you have guys like, okay, Corbin Carroll, Bryce Harper for the Phillies. Corbin Carroll for the it's a cool matchup. You got a legendary, a superstar, probably a future Hall of Famer. Bryce Harper, one of the best in the game. That's the kind of most exciting man in the lineup. And then for the other team, one of the hottest rookies, speed. He brings it all. Pop, power, defense, Corbin Carroll. The rotation, yeah, you have guys like Zach Wheeler. And then the Diamondbacks, of course, the lesser known but still really good Zach Gallen. I think you maybe had a slightly better season this year. Then the bullpen, guys like Kevin Ginkel, Jose Alvarado, and the Phillies are going to bring someone like Jose Alvarado in their bullpen. So really exciting. And then you have exciting defense like Rojas with the Phillies. And so this is going to be a super fun matchup. There's a great mix of players, and I think it's going to help the game just having all these new players that a lot of casual fans may not be aware of some of these guys on the Diamondbacks. I don't watch the Diamondbacks a whole lot. So who do you pick? Who do you pick in this one? I have not a freaking clue because whoever I pick is going to be wrong. So I feel kind of bad picking anymore, although I've gotten one right with the Rangers. But the Diamondbacks have been underdogs since day one. We thought they'd be pretty good this year. Everyone thought the Diamondbacks would be at least decent this season because they had a good team, but I don't think anybody expected them to be in the National League Championship Series. But they crushed Clayton Kershaw. They crushed Lance Lynn. They crushed the youngster in Game 2 with Bobby Miller. They have a home field advantage. They don't have a home field advantage. They're going to start in Philadelphia. So actually the Phillies will have the home field advantage. But we'll see. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun, though. But I can't really count out the Phillies. We're talking about National League championships. We're talking about Wheeler and Nola at home. So I'm assuming Wheeler and Nola will be Game 1 and 2. I'm assuming if they're ready to go. They haven't announced it yet. It is a 7-game series, best of 7 this time. So we can't just say that Phillies win the first 2, they're going to win it because they still got to go back to Arizona for possibly 3 games. But the Phillies with that, they have an amazing bullpen too. They got heat coming out of the bullpen, 100-mile-an-hour heat. They got Acuna Jr. Not Acuna Jr., but like I said, Bryce Harper. So we'll see what happens. But I think the Phillies, I got to give a slight edge to, even though it's hard to pick against the D-backs, the D-backs have been impressive. I got to give the edge to the Phillies, National League champs, and they're going to try to repeat. I'm going to say the Phillies do advance in the NLCS. I got the Phillies advancing in the NLCS. But any Diamondbacks fans who are here, consider that a good thing for you. Go Bruce Bochy. Would love to see Rangers all the way. Clayton Kershaw, greatest choke artist of all time. Yeah, Kershaw, we got to look at his postseason numbers. Holy cow. If you won't put, what's his name in the Hall of Fame? Billy Wagner because of his postseason. What about Clayton Kershaw? Now, Clayton Kershaw is a starter. Billy Wagner's a reliever. Clayton Kershaw has more wins, more strikeouts, and he's clearly has a Hall of Fame career. I'm not suggesting he's not a Hall of Famer. I'm suggesting they both should be in. You can't just count their poor postseason performance because both of them have been really bad in the postseason. Look at these numbers. This is going to be ugly. Now, this is a postseason resume. He has had literally 39 games in the postseason, and Kershaw has a 13-13, a 500 record. Not bad, not good, but he has a 4.49 ERA. I mean, that's insane. I think he's had some bad luck. He's only allowed 165 hits on 194 innings. He's got his strikeout numbers are very strong at 213. But he's given up 30 bombs. That seems a little high in his playoff career. Just incredible. Just incredible. He has not had a great playoff resume for sure. It's kind of average. It looks like an average pitcher with good strikeout stuff. It doesn't look like a Clayton Kershaw. So yeah, he's definitely he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Let's just be honest. Even in 2020 in the NLCS, he didn't pitch that well, but he did pitch well in the World Series. He's had his moments. It's not like he just sucks every time he pitches in the postseason, but definitely this year it was the worst of it all. 162.00 ERA. That's hard to do. That's hard to freaking have an ERA that bad. Holy cow. Baltimore. Yeah. If I'd have just picked the opposite of what I did, I would have had a great bracket. Zaidi fires Bochy, and he takes his next team to the championship series in the first year. Fire Zaidi. Zach Wheeler sure could have helped the Giants this season, just saying. And yeah. Yeah. Wheeler was drafted. I'm trying to see what year that was. In 2009 by the Giants, 6th overall, and we dealt him in 2011, I want to say. Had to be 2011 for Carlos Beltran, who Carlos Beltran is a great player and potential Hall of Famer, but that didn't work out at all. He went somewhere else in free agency, didn't do a whole lot, made a couple of nice defensive plays, hit a few home runs, but nothing big. And we gave away someone in Zach Wheeler who could still be here today. Who knows? I mean, we did go on to win 2 more World Series after that, but that was during his time in the minor leagues anyway. When did he make his debut? Okay, he made his debut in 2013, so we might have had him in 14, but man, that would have been nice if we still had Zach Wheeler. D-backs swept a weak Dodgers team. Phillies beat a better team. Magic Johnson is pissed about the early exit. Oh, is he? Jason Corona. Is there some news dropping about Magic Johnson? The legendary Magic Johnson is pissed. Oh, he made a tweet? Yeah, so I got the Phillies advancing, though, to the World Series for the 2nd season in a row. The Dodgers won 100 games this season and lost to the Diamondbacks in embarrassing fashion. We're all just, here's the tweet from Magic Johnson, former Dodgers legend. Lakers legend. Dodgers legend, too. Los Angeles legend in general. Only 3 likes in the stream. Hey, that's how we do it here. Slow streams, but we do what we do. Yeah, stick with the opposite. Yes, I will do the opposite. I got the D-backs. Advancing to the World Series. That's my official pick. I really have the Phillies, but I will do the opposite. So I got the Phillies. I got the D-backs advancing. We're all disappointed how our Dodgers didn't hit or pitch well. That's why we lost the series to the Diamondbacks. That's about the most straightforward, factual tweet you could possibly put out there. He didn't trash anyone. We're all disappointed that our Dodgers didn't hit or pitch well. That's why we lost the series to the Diamondbacks. Yeah, that is why you lost the series. Very observant of the great Magic Johnson. Look at Robbie Hyde. My sister's wedding. Got the pajamas, the sweatshirt, watching the Dodgers downfall. Full suit and tie. That is where it's at right there. I'm not as excited about the downfall because we have great Dodger fan subscribers, and I appreciate y'all, so I feel a little bad for them. But other than that, as a Giants fan, obviously, nice to see that they won't be winning it all this year. There's Ohtani with the Dodgers. That's a Photoshop job, but looks pretty. That logo looks tiny. It looks like he's Incredible Hulk. Looks like he's got freaking gigantic muscles, which he does. But this one, look at that little Dodger sign on him. That little Dodgers, they need to do a little better there. But yeah, there's Magic. So it is what it is, man. Dodgers out. Loving Bochy. Magic Johnson knows ball. I'm hoping the Rangers win so Bochy get the last laugh. It will be the last laugh. I have a better Dodgers hat than Magic does. Thanks again, Eric. Oh, I sent you that hat. Yeah, no problem, Robin. I got you. I got you for that hat. I hope that hat is still hanging on in good condition. I need to do more giveaways. I actually stopped doing the giveaways because I get in the comment section. Bro doesn't actually send any. Dude, people just talk crap. They have no idea. Of course I send this stuff out. I do a giveaway. I'm gonna send a freaking giveaway. I'm not gonna do a fake giveaway for subscribers. But people will talk trash anyway. Go Rangers! Let's talk about that series. Let's talk about the Astros Rangers all Texas. The stars are bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, there's going to be an American League Championship Series between the Rangers and the Astros. The Astros didn't have as much. How many have they won? 7 consecutive, correct me if I'm wrong, American League Championship Series. They haven't won 7 straight American League Championship, but they've appeared in the ALCS 7 straight times. Am I right on that? That's just off memory. 23, yes. 22, yes, they won it all. 21, I think so. 20, yes. 19, 18, and 17, they won it all. Ever since that World Series, the much fought about and controversial World Series, to say the least. Since then, I think they've been in the ALCS every year. What hat do I have on? Somebody help me in the chat. Someone help out in the chat what hat I got on right here. Somebody knows. If nobody knows, we got big problems. Sorry about the color. We're working on that. Next season, we're coming hard. Yeah, I got that. Thank you, Robin. I got that tweet. I saw that. You the man. I'm glad you're still rolling with that hat. Very nice. Very nice. What were we talking about again? The Texas Rangers are going to be taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Why can't I say things right? The Texas Rangers are going to be taking on the Houston Astros. All these teams are in my head and they're just all over the place. But we already know it's Texas. It's a Texas ALCS. Astros versus the freaking Rangers. And the Rangers took care of business in this series. They're going to face a Rangers team that is surging, swept the Tampa Bay Rays in the wild card series, took out the top Baltimore Orioles, who were swept for the first time in the year of 2023. And they have never faced each other in a postseason. When I was growing up, the Astros were National League. Flying squirrels, flying perros, flying dogs. Yes, the flying squirrels. The flying squirrels. We got to represent all the minor leagues, not just, like local. We got to represent all the minor leagues, even over in Richmond, Virginia, which I've never been to Richmond. A little too close to Washington, D.C. for my taste, but may have to go there soon. I asked my questions. Eric gave me a clue. I guessed the right answer, and Calliope Connection confirmed it 100%. You got it right. The Flying Squirrels. And I get the Flying Squirrels t-shirt, the playoff t-shirt, the highest team in the Giants organization to reach the playoffs this season. But back to Texas, we got the two teams. It's going to be easy travels for them. I wonder if they're going to take a bus. I bet they fly. I bet they fly. Like Houston to Dallas is not that far, but it's probably a good 2.5, 3 hours. They probably fly. I was just curious. It seems like you would just take a bus, but they probably fly. They're MLB teams. They probably fly. Dubon might get another ring. That's going to be an easy flight. You kick back, sit back here, put on your headphones, listen to 3 songs, and you're there. Richmond, Virginia is beautiful. 40 miles away. I want Rangers versus Phillies. Okay, so I got officially the Diamondbacks advancing because I really think it's the Phillies. But because I will do the opposite, I'm going to take the D-backs. As far as the American League, let's talk about that series. That one's going to be really fun. Now, the Astros, sometimes they make it to the World Series, sometimes they don't. This year, they haven't been, I think, during the season at least, haven't been as good as they've been in the past. Whereas the Rangers, for the most part, were really awesome all year long, and they ended up with the same record. But the Rangers kind of slowed down towards the end, picked it up a little bit to get in, because for a minute, it looked like they might not make the playoffs. For a minute, they were falling out. So there's reasons to like either team. When we talk about simply, let's just take a look if we can get a preview up here so we can see when we talk about the actual specifics of the players. Also remember, Justin Verlander's back with the Astros. It feels like he never left, but he actually did. He was with the Mets. That feels like a bad dream, but he actually was with the Mets. So the Astros will be taking on the Rangers. Here's the schedule. It starts out in Houston on Sunday, day after tomorrow, in Houston, Texas. They'll play games 1 and 2, games 3. That's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I was in Houston earlier this year for the Giants series. But anyway, they'll be in Arlington for games 3, 4, and if necessary, 5, and then back to Houston if necessary for game 6 and game 7. The stakes are high. The stakes are high. The prediction for this particular website, CBS Sports, Verlander and the Astros pin, which is much better than Texas, limits the damage against a powerhouse Texas offense. The Astros, no slouch with the basketballs, pounce on an uncertain Texas pitching situation. Pick Astros 7, Rangers 4. So they seem to like the Astros. The Astros are the favorite, but you can't go against Bochy. But then again, I got to do the opposite. So if I wasn't doing the opposite, I think I would lean Astros. So I got to go the opposite and take the Texas Rangers to advance. The Rangers are advancing, and they're going to take on the Diamondbacks in the World Series. Mark it down. You heard it here first, because you got to take the opposite. And Bruce Bochy, and it's really, I actually really don't know who to pick, so I'd rather take the Astros anyway. So I'm really going to take the Astros, genuinely. The Houston Astros, Jiminy Christmas, the Texas Rangers to move on. The Texas Rangers will take on the Diamondbacks in the Fall Classic. In the Fall Classic. And there I have winning it all in 7. The Texas Rangers. Bruce Bochy will get it done, and the Texas Rangers will win the World Series in 7. So there you go. I got the Rangers. I got the Rangers. I got Bochy. It's official. I got Bochy. It's official. We lost Dubon for Papierski. Yeah, Papierski. Michael Papierski. Where's he at these days? Is Michael Papierski still in professional baseball? That's the question of the day. He is with the Detroit Tigers organization. He's with the Detroit Tigers organization. He played with the Reds this year in Major League Baseball, in addition to the Giants, and then he went to the minor leagues, AAA for Detroit in Toledo, Ohio, for the Toledo Mud Hens, legendary minor league team. He hit .266 with 8 home runs for them. I mean, he's a decent minor league hitter. He just hasn't got done at the big league level. He can get on base and everything. He can work a walk. He had a 371 on base in Toledo. So he's a solid AAA guy who you bring up when you have injuries, but he's not someone you trade freaking Mauricio Dubon for. He's not someone you trade Dubon for, in my opinion. In my opinion, that sucked. So we're just wrapping everything up and letting you all know what the current situation is, because we got to keep following everything. I'm working on another documentary as well. I want to try to get that out ASAP. The last one's done really well. Channel's starting to move back in the right direction. So let's keep that moving. And other than that, I think that honestly speaking, it's going to be really exciting. I really don't know who's going to win what, because my predictions have been just off all season long, all postseason long. But I do think that the Diamondbacks are the hot team right now. And sometimes the hot team goes all the way, and the Rangers are hot too. Those are the two teams. That's not to say the Phillies aren't, and the Astros aren't, but it seems like something special brewing in Arlington as well as in Phoenix. So it wouldn't surprise me to see those teams wouldn't surprise me to see them two match up in the World Series. Who wins is anyone's guess, but I'll take the Rangers in 7. Farhan really blew that one. And as for the Giants, we got problems in San Francisco, no doubt about it. But changes need to be made, and changes will be made. I want to thank once again Brian Chua, who's been a member for 25 months, over 2 years. Thank you so much. And everyone else for showing up here for this stream. I'll let you get on with your day. Other than that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And let's just do one more just for the fun of it. The last 2023, maybe not the last, because I might do some more off-season stuff, live streams, but a little bit of Immaculate Grid to close out the day. Oh, we got some Rangers today. Oh, we got some MVP up in here. Oh, we got a little bit MVPs. That's actually tough. That's actually tough. I have to assume Ted Williams won some MVPs when he was with the Red Sox. Of course, you have to also take into account that MVP hasn't always existed, so it's not no guarantee. But let's go with the teams first before we get to MVP. Twins, Red Sox. Wait a minute. Bartolo Colon's going to be here somewhere. Bartolo Colon played for the White Sox because we got that before. Also, there's some other ones too. I almost said Jose Abreu, but let's just go Colon. Bartolo Colon. I don't know why Abreu didn't play with the Twins, did he? No, he went to the Astros. Bartolo Colon, Padres, Red Sox. So many names. I can't think of any. There's a big player who went from the Red Sox to the Padres. He's a big-time player, and he's not – I can't think of who. Jim Rice. Jim Rice had to have won. I mean, did Ted Williams, not win an MVP? Well, of course he won an MVP. Of course he won an MVP. Xander, Carl Yastrzemski, all those are probably right. You the best. Thank you so much. I'm going Ted Williams. I'm sorry. We got to go with my instinct. If I'm wrong, I'll fall on that sword. Ted Williams won an MVP with the Red Sox. Let's just be honest. White Sox, Frank Thomas. Anyway, who played on the Padres? And Xander Bogaerts. Someone said that. I thought you were talking about MVP. Xander Bogaerts. He's 33%, probably the highest percentage. Padres, White Sox. Padres, White Sox. Padres, White Sox. Padres, Orioles. Gary Templeton. Did he play in the Orioles at some point? I think I almost feel like he did. What's up, Jim Thurlkill? Jim Thurlkill is here. I do appreciate all the incredible freaking support. Aaron Judge won an MVP for the Yankees. I mean, for the White Sox or the Orioles. I don't remember him being on those teams. They got to be a White Sox MVP and Orioles MVP. Huge difference, kids. Huge difference. Kyle, though. That's a good one, though. You're right about Judge, but he didn't play for the White Sox or Orioles. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying. We have Roberto Alomar. Alomar for the Orioles and Padres. Yeah. Of course. Robert Alomar. Roberto Alomar. Sorry, 1 second. We got in the chat Brooks Robinson, 1964 MVP. Oh, yeah. Let's go here, get this one real quick because this is a guarantee. Roberto Alomar here, and then we have Brooks Robinson, 1964 MVP. That is obviously with the Orioles, and completely correct on that one. I need Padres, White Sox, Twins and Red Sox. Got to be a ton of players. Twins and Orioles too. Graph or logic puzzle with baseball facts. Frank Robinson famously won an MVP for the O's. I already got Brooks, but yeah, pick a Robinson. And here's to you. Okay, let me think. Twins, Red Sox. Gosh, man. I can't think of anybody. I genuinely can't think of anybody. I'm thinking of a ton of Twins. I'm thinking of a ton of Red Sox, but none of them played on the opposite. Oh, Big Papi. Big Papi. Oh, man. David Ortiz. Of course, David Ortiz started his career with the Twins. I didn't even think of him. I just think of him as a Red Sox. But he did start his career with the Twins. Briefly, ever so briefly, he played with the Twins. The Twins thought he wasn't that great. Red Sox picked him up, and he's a Hall of Famer. Although, should he be in the Hall of Fame? I thought he had a failed steroid test. I thought steroid connection players don't get in. Even if they don't have proof, they don't get in. What happened? But Ortiz is a nice guy. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. So you get in. Got it. Padres, White Sox. Padres, White Sox. Padres, White Sox. I need help. Who's Jim Rice? Jim Rice played for the Padres? Or Twins and Orioles? Jim Rice, all I remember is with the Red Sox. I don't remember him with any other teams. Eric Rackeshaw, David Ortiz, we got him. He should not bat, Christian. He should not be in the Hall. Yeah, we're done with Red Sox players. There's really nothing else to do there. We need a Padre White. Let me think. No, I'm not getting any help. I'm getting help, but I need more. Padres, White Sox. Padres, White Sox. You got me, dude. Jim Cott? Did Jim Cott play for the Orioles? Somebody? Harold Baines? Oh, wait, we already have Twins. No, yeah, Twins, Orioles. Harold Baines. Harold Baines. I'm wondering. I don't know. I don't know if he did. I'm just thinking of names, you know. Jim Cott was a long-time Minnesota Twin, but I don't know if he played for the Orioles. Jake Peavy. Wait, Jake Peavy. Padres. Wait, Jake Peavy. Jake Peavy. Jake Peavy. I know he played for the Padres. I think he played for the White Sox. I genuinely, I guess that's who you're saying. Peavy didn't play for the Twins and Orioles. You must be talking about Padres and White Sox. I think you're right. Yeah, Jake Peavy. I think you're right. You are right. Jake Peavy. Good one. Jake Peavy. Jake Peavy. Yeah, no, Harold Baines. No. MVP for the White Sox. Did Frank Thomas ever win an MVP? This was way harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be quick. Holy Moses. I thought we were just going to knock this one out and go home. Twins, Orioles. I feel like there's so many players who played on the Twins and Orioles. Old school players, but I can't think of any. Jim Cott, maybe, but I'm not 100%. Yeah, the Twins, the 1991 Twins had so many players. Kent Herbeck never played for the Orioles. I'm going through that team. I can't think of anyone who played for the Orioles. We may have to just have a fail. We may have a fail here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't think of anybody, everyone. We got 80s players. Yeah. 80s players. Let's see, 80s players. Chuck Knobloch. Did Chuck Knobloch play in the Orioles? Chuck Knobloch might have played on the Orioles. I don't know, though. I don't remember. He played on the Yankees. Dan Gladden. You guys remember Dan Gladden, former Giant? He played for the Giants. He played for the Twins. No, did he play for the Orioles? I don't know. Jack Morris. Jack Morris was a Twin. Jack Morris was, of course, a Tiger. Did he play in the Orioles? I don't know. I don't think so. Rick Aguilera, Kirby Puckett. Kirby Puckett's a career Twin. I'm thinking of 80s players. Rick Aguilera, closer. Big Papi, don't give up. No fail. Don't give up. Orioles. Chili Davis? Chili Davis was never on the Orioles, was he? Was he? No, he's on the Royals. He's on the Giants, of course, Royals, Twins, Yankees, Angels for a time. He was on a bunch of teams, but not the Orioles that I recall. I can't think of one player who's on the Twins and the Orioles. You guys, that's what I said. Did Frank Thomas win an MVP? We could try that, but it might be wrong. We don't want to miss any here, but if we can't think of an MVP player, we're going to have to go with Frank Thomas. Frank Thomas, I mean, I've been a baseball fan through Frank Thomas's career, and I'm pretty sure he did win some MVPs. So we're going to go with that and just try. If we miss it, we miss it. Frank Thomas for White Sox. That was my first guess. I was going to guess that. I just wanted to get the other ones first. Let's go. Bam! Yes! Frank Thomas, 67%. Everybody's picking Frank Thomas. And all we need is a twin and an Oriole. All we literally need is a twin and an Oriole. There's got to be someone. I'm thinking. Gary Gaetti. You guys remember Gary Gaetti? He played for several teams, including the Twins. Goose Gossage going back to the Senators. Mets, Frank Mets, the man, the myth, the legend. Is Goose Gossage? Goose Gossage? Are you guys saying Goose? I'll go with Goose. I'll go with Goose if that's what you're telling me to go with. But I don't remember Goose Gossage being on those two teams, to be honest. Bobo Newsom, he was with the, he was with the, I think he was with the Dodgers. Bobo Newsom? Is Bobo Newsom right? Hey, Fable JVC, I'm about to put whatever you guys say because I can't think of anyone. You know what? I think I do know someone, though. I got someone really random. He was with the Dodgers in the 1988 season. They won the championship. He started his career with the Twins, and then he went to the Orioles. His name is Brad Havens. Brad Havens. What? He's a pitcher. He pitched with the Dodgers in the 1988 World Series. I don't know if he pitched in the World Series, but he's with that team that year. So when I first started watching baseball, he was in the bullpen, but I remember having his baseball card, and he started with the Twins. He played with the Orioles for a while. Brad Havens. Got you. We got it. Immaculate. Brad Havens, 0.05%. Rarity score. The rarity score. Okay, we got it. No, you're probably Bobo Newsom's a good one. Bobo Newsom, he threw the freaking the slow pitch, the ephus pitch. There he is right there. Bobo Newsom. That was a good one. I thought he played with the Dodgers too. He played with a million different teams. He played with the Giants. He played with the New York Giants, 1948. How did I forget that? How did I forget he was with the Giants in 1948? I don't even remember that. How did I forget that? But yeah. Yeah, he started his career with Brooklyn. But yeah, we got it here. Brad Havens. Oh, you looked that up. Good job, everyone. We got it. I don't know if it's more random than Bobo, but 0.05% on Brad Havens. I may have been the only person to actually get that one. Let's look at the obvious. Don Baylor. There wasn't a lot of obvious. Nelson Cruz. How do we miss Nelson Cruz? Troy Hawkins. Yeah, not a lot of obvious. Frank Laporte. Okay, so Bobo Newsom, we just looked at him. Yeah, is what it is. Is what it is. Not a lot of obvious names. I don't even know half these names. I don't even know who these people are. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Logan just shows up now. Too late. Too late. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. So jumping in here, everybody, at the last minute. Much obliged. Much appreciate all the support. You guys are awesome. No doubt about it. No doubt in my mind. Keep on keeping on, everybody. And you guys have a great day. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. There he is right there. Who you pick going to World Series? I got the D-backs and the Rangers going. I'm impressed by your baseball. My baseball is not that great. Most people can a lot of people can knock those things out. I have trouble coming up with names. So it is what it is. But do appreciate everyone. And we're going to talk to you in the next stream. I'm going to start working on a documentary, though. It's going to be coming out. Make sure to click on that when you see it. You'll know it when you see it. It's postseason related, and you'll definitely know it when you see it. Oh, Scott Erickson played with the Twins, pitcher. Did he play for the Orioles? Did Scott Erickson play for? I thought of him. He crossed my mind, but I didn't think that he played for the Orioles. I honestly didn't think he played with the Orioles. But as far as my postseason picks, there's only one thing to say.
I'm stupid. You're smart. I was wrong. You were right. You're the best. I'm the worst. You're very good looking. I'm not attractive.
All right. As long as you're willing to admit that. No.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to roll on out of here right now. You got a little bit of started training. Logan M. started my training. So we'll leave on some batting practice. Other than that, we'll see ya next time. Peace.